Hi and welcome, I hope welcome back to Play It Loud. This is a fairly short, quick run through. I loved the 60s, I hope you did, 70s, fabulous rock music, but on this side of the pond we missed a few bands. I'd suggest that in America they missed a few of ours, and this isn't about what the Americans missed, but I would be remiss if I didn't suggest that the Pretty Things were one of the bands that seemed to go completely under their radar. But under the radar is where a few really good American bands went, and it's one of the reasons that this is almost exclusively, from my perspective, a CD compilation, because I didn't buy the albums in the first place, and if you can still get hold of them, they're expensive. They're either reissued audiophile, very expensive, or very old through Discogs, also very expensive. Let's get into it. Let's pick up a few American bands that the UK missed. Let's start with these people. It says the Rascals, but they were originally, as far as we were called, the Young Rascals, and they had one big hit in the UK, Grooving, summertime record, lovely record, and that was it. They flew up the charts, had a great single drived off the charts, and they disappeared. In America, this band were huge. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame not that long ago. They got back together again a few years ago and had sell-out concerts. They were massive. They were part of the American youth culture of the 60s and early 70s. This box brings together, I think, all their 6 albums, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums and some extras. There isn't a bad album in there, but the Groovin' album is the one that they're best known for. So if you're going to investigate them. All right, next. Love this band, Spirit. And I don't think Spirit really took over here. They were known, but real periphery stuff. A psychedelic band, not a rock band, not a ex-folk band, perhaps like the Byrds, Buffalo Springfield for that matter. No, these people were different, and they were best known for a track that was on CBS compilation. First track on here, Fresh Garbage. It's mostly instrumental. Talking about it, you laugh, but actually it wasn't funny at the time. It's a really, really nice track. The lead guitarist, he went on to become something of a Jimi Hendrix of the era. Not Hendrix, of course, nobody ever was Hendrix, but this guy could play. And as I recall, his father was the drummer in the band. And they went on, soldiered on for a number of years. There's five albums on here, a lot of their really early stuff before they split, before their lead guitarist went off and did his own thing. Spirit are well worth investigating. You probably know these people. Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels had a few singles over here. Jenny Take a Ride. A lot of people covered this band. This band had great energy, and when you go through the track listings, Shake a Tail Feather, Sock It To Me Baby, Jenny Take a Ride, I Go Crazy, these are, I would love to have seen this band live in a, as we had them in the time, dance hall, not a stadium. These, I think, would have been an American Geno Washington and the Ram Jam Band, certainly in terms of the atmosphere they appear to be able to create. So, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Little Steven, best known as Steve Van Zandt. Steve Van Zandt, a lead guitarist with Bruce Springsteen's band. If if you discount Niels Lofgren, but whichever way. He's been in Bruce Springsteen's band since the really early days at the Ashbury Park, and he gets overlooked. And yet he's released a number of albums with the Disciples of Soul live album. There's a DVD of Little Steven playing in the Cavern Club as a homage to Paul McCartney and the Beatles. The guy really knows his stuff, and he wrote a really great book. So Steve Van Zandt, Little Steven. Promise you we're getting to the end. The Beau Brummels. Now this lot really went under our radar. I don't know. I struggle to find people who know anything of the Beau Brummels could name a single track. And I fell into that. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. They were country rock. Well, pop going country rock. And again, huge in the USA. And there's some good music on this. There really is. Kind of underselling it, but I shouldn't. They're worth investigating. And lastly, and possibly I think the ones who most deserved reappraisal, Big Star. Big Star, when I first heard them, I couldn't believe that I hadn't already heard them, because they should have been huge. They should have been up there in the top 10 bands. They should have toured the world and been massive. They made some truly wonderful records. Their leader, people might argue they had two leaders, but Alex Clinton, the singer and writer of a lot of their stuff, he was famous for The Letter, not as Big Star. Who was The Letter by? Can't remember now, because Big Star are a much, much better band. Great songs, wonderful melodies, terrific playing. Apparently they were really, really big live. They kicked off more than once. They grouped, made some albums, didn't get the sales, broke up, regrouped, made some more. They didn't get anywhere either. And eventually, I think they called it a day. And I think, can't remember the details, Alex Clinton, I think, didn't have the greatest of lives after that. I may have got that wrong, so you might need to check. But Big Star are really, really worth investigating. So if you didn't know them, find out about them. Stream it, go on YouTube, buy the box. This, incidentally, is not expensive and is well available, as is a lot of their stuff from your local record store. So get hold of one of those. Get hold of Big Star, or the Beau Brummels, or Little Steven, or Mitch Ryder, or Spirit, or the Young Rascals. And play it loud. Please subscribe.